creating a course on JUniversity is actually very, very simple. And I'm going to show you how that's done. If you're logged in as an admin, which I am now, which gives you the ability to create a course, you'll see this little message here at the top of the page, which tells me that I'm logged in preview mode, and I can simply click here to return to my back-end dashboard. And by clicking over here on the left on My Courses, it'll bring up all the courses that I'm currently working on or have created. And I'm going to just click over here, create a new course. Let's call it All About Hummus. I love hummus. And we're going to click Create a Course. And that brings us automatically to this default landing page. The landing page is the page that your students are going to see when they first click to find out more information about your course. So you see it put the title in here. I've got it defaulting to one of my favorite teachers, instructors, Elmo. And as you see, as I roll over these areas, I can just simply go in and edit them. As well, I can access that information here on the left column. But I'm going to click here to edit the banner image. And I'm going to upload a picture, which I have here, of hummus. Let's drop that in. There it is, and it gives us a nice background picture. I can actually go in here and change the opacity of the overlay so that I'm going to just make it 50% so that it actually gives us a little more of our hummus image there. Click Save. I'm going to roll down and check the instructor section, which is defaulting to my favorite instructor, Elmo. And of course, I can edit that information as well if I want to by clicking here. And again, on the left, it puts up the information. I can modify the bio. I can add contact information. And of course, you have all the different tools here. If you want to add links into that instructor bio, you want to add other content, images, etc. So you have a lot of flexibility there. In this course content section, that's where it's going to display the different aspects or the different elements in the curriculum, which I don't have a curriculum now because we just started. And again, I have the ability to add other information in the bottom part of the page, such as pricing information or information about upselling courses. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to just click on curriculum, and we're going to add some content. Chapters are essentially like lessons. You can think of structuring your course similar to the layout of a book, where your chapters are your main headings, and then under each of those chapters you have the different lessons that pertain to that particular chapter. So we're going to add a chapter, and we're going to call it, let's call it Intro to Hummus. And we're going to save that. And this is where it really gets interesting and fun. You can simply add whatever kind of content you want to that lesson by just clicking over here on Add Content. You see, that gives me a lot of different options here. I can add videos, I can add a quiz, I can add any kind of multimedia content, I can just put in text-based content, I can create a survey, upload PDFs. We've got this hooked up to Discuss, so you could actually implement a discussion forum in the context of each individual lesson. If you have audio MP3s that you want to make available, you can put those in here. You can set any content to be downloaded by your students if you want to do that. You can upload a presentation, for example, a PowerPoint presentation. This is actually really interesting because right in the interface, you can upload that presentation. It could be a series of slides or a series of PDF images or text, and then literally right in our back end here, record audio right on top of those slides. So you can kind of create a very effective presentation without using any third-party tools. We've also added the ability to include an exam. We've got our system hooked up to Brillium, which is pretty much the gold standard for online testing. We can do anything from a simple test to something that's very, very sophisticated, something that you might implement in a university level course, for example. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start off with a quiz. So I click on quiz. We're going to give it a name. All about what do you know about hummus? Okay, that's it. And you see I have options. If this is a paid course that I'm creating, I could make this part of a free trial. I can require that it requires a passing grade to move on, etc. So let's just create this, save it, and we're going to add a question. And our first question is going to be, how about where did hummus originate? And I can create a series of choices. So we're going to just set this up as a simple multiple choice quiz. Let's say Texas. We're going to create another choice, the Middle East. And let's add one more, and we'll call it, let's say New York. Okay. And I have the option of having one or more correct answers or one correct answer. So I'm going to leave this as one correct answer because the correct answer here is the Middle East, and we're going to just click that so that we know that's the correct answer. And I also have the ability to add in an explanation, which could include links or pictures or all kinds of background information. Once the person answers that question and they get it correct, it can give them more detail. We're going to leave that blank for now. We're going to save the changes, and that's it. We've now got our piece of content in our lesson for this course. And at any point, by the way, I can click over here on the right, and I can preview the course as a student, or I can preview the landing page for the course. So we're going to go in right now, and we're going to preview this as a student. And we're going to select the lesson now. We're going to see how the student sees this course. And there is our quiz. And again, I can go in and I can, if I click Texas, it's going to tell me, whoa, I got that wrong. It marks the correct one in green. In this case, the Middle East is the right answer. I have the option to retake it or move on to the next part of the lesson. So I can go back here to my course creation area, and let's add another chapter, and we're going to call it recipes. Now, I could input the recipe information right here by typing a recipe in this section, or I'm going to do something to make things a little simpler. I found a link to a website, which is this one over here. I will not eat oysters, and that's definitely something I don't eat. So this is a website, and I'm going to just grab the link for this page, the URL for this page. I'm going to go back to my course, and I'm going to call this the best recipe that I know of. Okay, and I'm going to just paste in that URL here and hit save. Again, if I want to go back here and preview this course as a student, brings me back into the interface, and you see right there, right in the interface now, my link to the recipe exists. There's the recipe over there. So it's very, very simple. You can see how easy it is to input content into your course. We also have a bulk importer, so I could just literally drag and drop whatever files that I want for my course. I can rearrange them. In the back end here, you could see I have now these two lessons. One's Intro to Hummus, one's Recipes. If I want to move this content around, let's say I want to move this up to here, to this lesson, I can just do that, and now I've added my recipe section to my Intro to Hummus. But I'm gonna move it back down here. Oops. Let's grab that and drag that down. There we go. And it's that simple. Some of the other options that I have here, I can customize the course card, which is the card, the image that you see on the front page of the site that gives you some basic information on the course. I can go again and upload, let's say, a photo. Maybe we'll do a different photo for this one. And there's the photo. I can add some information about it right down here on the left. This course won't make you fat, because I know hummus is pretty fattening. So we're going to save that, and now we have our course card. And of course, because this is free, or at least we haven't given it any information to say otherwise, it tells us here in the top right corner that this course is free. But I can actually go in and change that by clicking on pricing. I can add a one-time payment, a subscription payment to this course, a payment plan to this course, if you want people to be able to pay over time. So I'm going to add a one-time payment. We're going to make this course $29, and we're going to save that. And I can even set that price for a particular time. And again, now when I go back here to my settings and I look at my course card, it's showing me that it's $29. So that's how that works. Pretty simple. We can create a drip schedule for the content, which gives us the ability to start this course based on a particular enrollment date or when this course is released. And that way, all my students will all be starting at the same time. So perhaps I have a course that I want them to only to be accessed and to start at a certain time. That's how I would set it up. And again, I can actually go in from that point, from the starting point, and I can create a different schedule for each piece of content if I want as well. So I want to show you how some of the other options in the course builder work. And here we are on the curriculum. And I'm going to show you some other options here. So we've now seen how we can add a piece of multimedia content in. And again, the beauty of this multimedia feature is that multimedia could be anything. It could be a link to a live webinar that you want to do in the context of your course. It could be a link to any other content anywhere online. There's a lot of functionality that you can add to your course using this multimedia option. The other thing you can do is you can add a survey. What do you know about hummus? Okay, and we're going to save that. And here it gives me a little bit, it's similar to the way the quiz works, but it gives me a variety of different options here. So just to save time, I'll just show you what some of the options are here. Again, unlike a quiz where you have one correct answer or multiple correct answers, you could do the same thing here, but we can also add a rating option. We could create a scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you know about hummus? We can also add the option of free text. We'll add our question here. What do you know about hummus? And I'm going to just do a little formatting on that, make it a little bigger. And I can add this question as optional if I want. If I could have multiple questions, obviously, in my quiz or my survey. I'm going to save that, and I'll show you how that works when we go in here as a student. So we're in our Intro to Hummus section, and what do you know about hummus? Well, I gave it the same name. I should have given it said something different. But here's my question. It gives the student the ability to enter in whatever they want. I don't know much about it. Okay, and I can save that. It says I've completed the survey. And what's beautiful about the system is that it's tracking all of the responses, whether they're quizzes, survey input, whatever input that comes from a student is tracked in the back end of the system. And so we can see the results. We can see that I logged in as a student. Here's the questions that I answered. This is what I got right. This is what I got wrong. So it really gives the student the ability to interact, but it also gives you as an educator the ability to track the results in a very detailed way. Let's add another piece of content. So if I want to add a video, it's very, very simple. If I have the video already in my library, which I don't at the moment, I can just select it right there. I can just drag and drop a video. I can also add in a YouTube video, a link to a YouTube video or a Vimeo video. There's a lot of options there. And again, if I want to add text, I can just simply do that by clicking on the text field. The origins of hummus. And I can add text in here. Hummus originated in the Middle East. And I'm going to take some information about hummus here. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go back over here. Where are we? And I'm going to just paste that in. I can save those changes. And again, now when I go and preview this as a student, pick in my intro, I just click over here, and that's showing me the information that I just pasted in. So you can see how simple and easy it is to add content to your course. The other option I have here is to create a custom completion page or a default completion page, which is the screen that pops up at the end of the course when the student finishes the course. So that's, if I want to create a custom page, I can just type whatever it is I want here and save that, put videos in there. There are really tons of options in terms of how you can customize these different content pieces within your course.